close encounters with moose. No, the fourth one there was definitely on about something. You can hardly see him, but that is moose number 5. Jeff does not like being the center of attention for moose. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the BosqueeNet adventure, and welcome back to the top of the hill. As you can see, there has been just a small change in the weather, or maybe a large change in the weather. Yes, that snow on the ground, and even more of it up on the mountains behind me. And it's even October still. I mean, that just goes to show you how quickly the weather changes up here in the mountains of Utah. Anywho, I brought us back to the top of the hill tonight because tonight is the final test night before winter. Well, I guess before winter really kicks in, but this will be my third and final test night of the ENO Skylite lay flat, bridge style hammock. If you've been around watching the episodes, you will have watched me by now done a couple of camps with this hammock. The first one didn't go so well. The second time, well, that went pretty decent. But tonight we're going to kick it up just a little bit with the setup. I will be adding an underquilt. I recently picked one up off of Amazon, but I'll tell you more about that here in just a bit. Now, fortunately, unfortunately, I don't think we're getting any more weather in tonight. Down in the valley, it's actually blue skies. The clouds are just lingering up here in the mountains. The temperature is above freezing right now, which is causing all kinds of drips to come out of the trees. So I will need to set up a tarp this evening. And hey, it'll be the first time doing the tarp and bridge style hammock combination. So I'll be trying that out too. But anywho, enough yammering. Let's start setting up camp. And if you're curious about what knot I just tied there, that was the falconer's knot. I have a previous video telling you all about how to tie it and why I use it when setting up tarps. It's a slip knot by nature, but it also allows you to tighten it against the object that you tied it to. So, dual purpose. It's an awesome knot. I forgot that I had my tarp poles in the truck, so I had to run back and get them real quick. Mega shelter tonight. That'll do quite nicely. I knew as soon as I got the hammock up that I would have to shift the tarp one way or another. I gotta go that way. I think I'll take it almost a foot. Bear with me. All right, everyone, so what I have here tonight is an underquilt by One Wind. This underquilt has a comfort rating of 35 degrees to 50 degrees. Yes, we'll be lower than that tonight. However, I'm just going to go for it anyway tonight, just so I can see where that colder limit is. All right, now to get the underquilt all installed onto the hammock, we're going to make this super simple and just flip the hammock over. That way, it just makes a nice basket there. You can get it on, get it all situated, then flip it back over. Now, for those of you who may be wondering, I did all kinds of finagling to set this up inside my house, and I've already pre-configured the underquilt on how I want it to connect to the hammock. I used little carabiners, and this works fantastic for this hammock. Let me show you. All right, so on each end of the hammocks, there's all this elastic cordage. And honestly, I don't think it's worth its salt. There's not enough tension on this elastic cord to keep it securely underneath the hammock. I think in the long run, I may just replace this with some paracord. But anywho, on each of the two corners here, I put a little carabiner, and that just easily clips on right there, and on this side right here. All right, so perfect. And then, yes, utilizing the paracord, I connect it just above the green clip. So that gives you some sort of semblance on how that underquilt is going to hug the hammock. So now all we got to do is flip that over. Fantastic, just like that. All right, so this is what the end pieces look like, right? Even with the underquilts that you buy from ENO, you will be leaving this side exposed. But you do have the option to cinch that together so it hugs it just a little bit more. What I do plan on doing, once I replace this elastic cordage with paracord, I'll put a little dongle in there, because on the side of the tent, it does have a loop. So I can affix it there. That way, it does not move anywhere during the night. All right, and as you can see this evening, I will not be using a sleeping pad inside of the tent. This is truly going to be a test of this underquilt. I know in the future I can always supplement this underquilt with a sleeping pad. You've seen me in the previous outings use a sleeping pad with this hammock, so I know that it works, and that's been an insulated sleeping pad. But tonight truly is about testing the limits of this underquilt. And what I love about having an underquilt is I've got storage, and lots of it. we are starting to get ourselves just a little low ceiling of clouds right now. I wonder if it'll come any lower. All right, everyone, I am getting just a little bit hungry, and it has been a while since I have made mega burger. So I was in the mood for an awesome hamburger tonight, and apparently so is that squirrel. But yes, that's what's on the menu for tonight, mega burger. Let's get cooking. I think first things first, I'm gonna toast up the buns. That way I can just build this as it's ready. And throw some butter in there. Top done. Bottom done. And while the burger's cooking, we're just gonna warm up some bacon. Yes, I said warm up. I had extra bacon at breakfast this morning, so I figured I could add that to the burger. All right, now let's throw down some cheese. We've got Munster cheese tonight. Do a layer there, and we'll just plop all that bacon back down. And we'll do a second slice of cheese on top of that. Yum. All right, now because this isn't it, we got to pull the burger off here to make room for our fried egg. And we'll just set that aside. My table's just a little uneven. But that's okay, we'll make do. There's a helicopter, you probably can hear it. He's somewhere in the canyon here. I do hope that he's not going up to the top to rescue someone. But I imagine that's what the case is. Alright, let's see if I can do a good flip. Ooh, very nice. Alright, let's load the egg on. Just like that. Oh yeah. Right, let's put on some ketchup, some mustard. If you haven't seen this move before, you put it down, do the twist. That spreads everything out for you. Throw on some onion. Gotta do the pickles. I'm a pickle fan, and those are dill pickle, not sweet. And to keep it all tied together and simple, I think I'll just do one thing of lettuce tonight. Oh yeah. And we're gonna have some ruffles with it. Now, does that look good or what? That is mega burger. We've got the patty, we've got lots of bacon, 2 slices of cheese, a fried egg, pickles, ketchup, mustard, onion, lettuce. Bon appetit. Where do I begin? Woo! Amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, so y'all have seen me make Mega Burger many times now. I love Mega Burger. That is an awesome, like, backpacking treat meal. It is excellent. But I've never asked you all, if you were to make your ultimate hamburger, what are you putting on it? Let me know down in the comment section below. But anywho, Mega Burger's calling my name, and I need to dive in. I think that's exactly what I think was going on. There's a parking lot right down there. That's the trailhead to do the hike to the top of the mountain. I think someone got themselves into a bit of trouble today. That is unfortunate. I don't know if this is because it's wintertime conditions or anything else like that, but do stay safe out on your adventures. was just a little past time to make the fire. I should have made it just before dinner. I mean, I've got plenty of firewood. I don't know what I was waiting for, because it's gotten just a little bit chilly. And it looks like the next round of clouds are coming down the mountain right now. So just a lot of cold going on. I have 2 moose right down here. They're just right in between there. No, it's 3 moose. There's a young moose with them too, but it's 3 of them. Yeah, he heard me. How many of them? There's 4. That's 4 moose. 1, 2, 3. The other one and its baby right there. I heard the young one whining. He's on about something. like something down there. Go away. This one is obviously being a bit aggressive. So I'm just trying to keep cool here. Hopefully the car that's coming scares them all down the hill. I know the others have gone. Close encounters with moose. Wow. Oh my goodness. So I'm just going to be paying attention here for just a little bit. I think I'm going to have to turn my chair around just so that I'm paying attention to the right direction. But wow. Oh my goodness. No, the fourth one there was definitely on about something. I'm not sure if they wanted to come up this way or not, but yeah, oh my goodness. Whew. Heart's going just a little bit there, especially when he started running around in circles like that, or when she started running around in circles like that. That was like a leave them alone moment. Okay, awesome. This, you can hardly see him, but that is moose number 5. but he's down there in the trees. He's a big dude. I haven't sat down since the moose. And to be quite honest with you all, Jeff does not like being the center of attention for moose. Look, not that I think that they were at all interested in the food that I was cooking and everything else, but with all the aromas and the smoke and, hey, you know, I just smell different than what they're used to out here, and they could probably smell me a mile away. They still chose to come right here close to camp. I mean, this last one, the fifth one, there were five moose. Oh my goodness. But that fifth one came within 50 yards. He was just right up over here, up at the level that I was at. So for him to come horizontal towards me and everything else would have been like easy. The ones at the bottom of the hill, yeah, they're probably fast climbers too and everything else, but I don't know. I was more nervous about the fifth one. Now it's like every little thing that I hear out there is like my head is on an instant swivel. So I'm still paying attention. The traffic has picked up down on the road down there, so I'm hopeful that, you know, they've kind of pushed them down the mountain just a little bit further away from camp. That would be nice. It's only been about 40 minutes since the moose encounter, so that's just how quickly it got dark. And the thing about it getting dark, and as dark as it is right now, I have to rely upon hearing everything around me, so I apologize if I am not chatty this evening, but I am trying to pay attention to my surroundings. More vehicles passing by. That's good. All right, everyone. Yeah, I think I'm going to get crap from my brother again, but it was about the time that 6 and number 7 moose came into camp, and I mean, like, I started hooting, hollering, yelling, screaming, whole 9 yards, right, just to get some distance between me and them. But this is the absolute most moose that I have seen in an area for a long time. And apparently I'm in their domain right now, so I am going to vacate. I'm going to call this the end of this adventure. It's been a heck of an adventure. When I set out this afternoon, I had no idea that I'd be seeing this quantity of moose. I mean, this has just been amazing to see. Like I said, this last group came, I don't know, probably within 30 yards. That was just far too much interest that they were showing in me. So I packed up everything as quick as I could, threw it in the back seat behind me. But like I said, I do want to thank you all for joining me. Sometimes the adventures do have to get cut short. It's just been an interesting afternoon and evening. I want to thank you all for joining me. If you like the content that I'm providing, be sure to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or hey, you just want to chat, hit me up down in the comments section below. I always look forward to hearing from you. You have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you on the next adventure. And hopefully we'll be able to stay all night. You have a good night now.